the rice, we take out the half the liquid and we substitute with rice or cauliflower or palmini or something like that.
Yeah, live.
We're live already?
Hey, good morning.
Morning, everybody. It is a beautiful morning. God, what's the weather like?
69 and sunny.
69 and sunny.
I don't think that doesn't.
It don't feel like 69.
I don't know.
We shall.
I wouldn't know what 69 feels like. Temperature-wise. Temperature-wise, no, it feels wonderful.
Yeah,
It is 67.
it feels cooler. Okay.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a beautiful day, sunny.
Not a cloud in the sky. The sun is up over here, so it's going to be in my face probably by the end of the show. But, yeah, we decided we're going to, carry on the Dutch oven theme. I need to learn and do more of it. So I thought I'd bring y'all along with us while we can. So we've got the Dutch oven actually heating up. Instead of B&B coals that I used Wednesday, I got regular Kingsford because that's all the grocery store had. Well, they had Matchlight, but I didn't want to use that. So I got this Kingsford in blue, and it heated up fast. So we got... What's up, Matt? So we've already got the coals on the Dutch oven, so it's preheating, just like you would your oven. And since I'm taking a step back and I'm learning Dutch oven cooking, I got the concepts of it.
Right.
I like watching Kent Rollins where he does Dutch oven cooking. Majority of my Dutch oven cooking over coals is in a drum or, in a grill. So I've only done a handful of actual cooks like this. So I want to learn. And y'all are coming with me. So we're starting off. Mama wanted a peach cobbler or something like that. And so that's what we're going to make. We're going to make a dump cake. And I have no recipe. I was just kind of kicking around like the last time we made one. We did it in a smoker. And that was like 6 years ago.
So it's been a while.
Been a long time.
It's almost like that.
Yes, the Amish, yeah. I don't know if they use Dutch ovens. I don't know what they use. I mean, they use wood stoves. I don't know if they do Dutch oven.
They got to. I'm sure they did. But they got cast iron everywhere.
Yeah.
There's a lady on TikTok who is Amish, but she has a whole TikTok channel.
Okay.
And she's like sharing like little secrets about being Amish.
There's all kinds of stuff. There's that. The wife's been watching this. What's
Mandy's
that?
in.
Oh, hey, cousin Mandy, how are you doing?
She said something and I don't know what it means.
What's
so.
that? I can't. Kerosene.
I don't know what that is.
It's like gas.
It's
That's
a
what.
form of gas.
That's what she's saying. That's what the Amish use. They very well could.
Have you seen that documentary? Probably not. About like the group of girls that like go and help people get out of the Amish.
No, what the wife was watching was that was it Forbidden Love or something like that, where they take two people that are from different religions and they're matched together, or they're already together. I don't know. I watched a little bit of it, and so there was like a guy was Southern Baptist, and he was dating a girl who was Muslim, and they were showing the conflict between the parents and the family and stuff. And then there was an Amish boy and a Catholic girl, and he's talking about he didn't know what anything about the birds and the bees until he was 18 when he was watching the sheep and the goat. It was way too much information And we were like, okay,
There's some slight cultural differences there.
yes.
Randy said the Amish and Logan country use heroes.
Okay. So Logan County. Yeah. Okay. So, but we are.
I feel like I have to sneeze, but it doesn't want it like.
Yeah. This is fantastic. I could just sit out here. So yesterday I went with a group of guys that I work out with in the mornings. And we went up to the lake. One guy's got a boat, and he took us out on the boat. We went to a marina to eat on the water. Went and one guy just doing some wakeboarding, knee boarding, and brought back a lot of memories. Mandy would remember the old plywood board, the red board that we used to ride on. What's up, James? So it was kind of neat, and then I happened to notice that the boat that he had was a Starcraft. What's that mean? That was the same boat Grandpa had. Grandpa had I believe it was a Starcraft, the first one. And so it was just kind of neat. White and red, and this had gray and black in it. So it was just kind of one of those things that made you go, all right, there's more to this than just hanging out with some guys, But it's a good time. Good time. I actually got in the water and swam a little bit. Actually, I put a life jacket on and floated. They laughed at me because I come walking up and I got my cooler. I had one of those orange life jackets, or what are they, preservers, whatever,
right,
wrapped around my neck. So it's on. I got my cooler with some non-alcoholics and a couple Gatorades and some waters. And then I had my to-go bag, my dry bag with my towel and stuff in it. So I was like, and they're like, are you serious? You're not wearing that? You're not wearing that on the water. I was like, I don't have one of those rubber ducky ones that go around your waist. Yeah. So I might have to get me one. But it was a good time. It was beautiful weather. It was just, man. The guys kept calling it epic. And it was awesome. Yeah. It's a good time. Anytime you're out on the water, it's a good time.
Oh, yeah.
And then when you're with a group of guys, it just, you got a lot of the same, all different walks of life and with the same stuff, that you're interested in. Or,
Like John
who?
Candy?
Yeah. Kind of like that, except for my bucket hat was a bigger brim. I had a bigger brim on my bucket hat. What, Cody?
Nothing, I'm Googling.
Oh, you're Googling what John Candy was?
You know, John Candy, Uncle Buck.
Well, I think it was the Great Outdoors.
Yeah, but I was just,
What
the hell?
It's the heat got to the thin metal and they expanded.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, the earthquake.
Yeah, that's what happened the other day. It's just the thin metal and
Oh, this guy?
That's him.
I need to set this down over here. Yes, this is still the same one that sucks. That's why I didn't have Rusty do it.
I never would have twisted it backwards.
Well, it still doesn't work, so I do need to get a new one. I just haven't done it yet. I looked at one the other day, but the line was super long at like TJ Maxx, and I was like, yeah, I'm not. And that was the only thing I would have got, so I was like, it's not worth it. But anyway.
My old P-38 in the Army did better than that.
Well, where's it at?
Fort Jackson somewhere.
Well,
That worked fine.
It did. There's that one. So I got a 12-inch Dutch oven. We're going to put in 2 cans of peaches. I'm hoping that's right. But so what all did you get into this week?
Well, this week I just had a lot of running with work. I mean, I put in so many miles. They're sending me on, 4 hours one way to go fix a call and stuff like that. Yesterday, had a really good morning. Woke up kind of early and took the Blackstone, fired it up, and made a Blackstone breakfast yesterday, and had a pound of bacon on there, and did eggs and sausage and omelets. I don't think you're gonna need all that juice for the second can. You're wanting to make this a cobbler type, but with all that juice, it's not gonna have a chance for the breading to crust up. It's gonna be really soggy.
Well, then we'll pour that juice off.
Yeah,
most of it. Bloop. Anyway. Oh, all right. Well,
and
peach juice.
And then last night they wanted Mexican street corn, so I got me a bag of corn and everything, and I used frozen corn just because it was easy and cheaper.
Yeah.
And threw that on the Blackstone with some onions and peppers and seasoned it up, and it was really good.
So Mama's, we found that she's got a gluten, I don't want to say allergy, but gluten messes with her. So she's had to cut back on her beer intake and what type of beer she drinks because it messes with her gut. So gluten-free cake mix. Surprisingly. Charlie, how did I know? Just spread this around. Now, what would be the difference if you use the pie filling, cherry pie filling?
Well, that was one I was about to mention to you. We always use the pie filling whenever we made the cobblers.
Okay.
Because there's the liquid. There's way more liquid in this than there is in a pie filling.
Okay.
It's so more solid, and it makes a better, cobbler.
Okay.
If you were making a dump cake, because it's so fluffy and the filling inside it's floofy. That's what you would use the canned fruit with because of the juice, and there was so much juice in those 2 cans. If you were to do a cake instead of a cobbler, you wouldn't have had to pour in the can of Sprite or whatever soda you should. I see you had Coke out here. We've made hundreds of dump cakes in the Boy Scouts. We never once used Coke. It was always Sprite or 7-Up.
Well, I didn't have Sprite. We did in brownies.
Yeah.
Brownies, I've used Coke, like a brownie mix, and then you pour in Coke. But that's probably loud. I'm sorry. That's all I got there. So I reckon. Yeah, well, it's going to until I get the heat on. There we go. Put the heat back on. I am going to add some more coals. What do you think?
It's about that time. It actually needs to burn it up so fast. You might want to go ahead and start a little bit more. It's going to take about 45 minutes, and I don't believe we got 45 minutes for the coal lift.
Now, one thing I did notice Wednesday night when we were cooking, that the difference between a shallow and a deep Dutch oven, like I always thought you could get a deep and it would do everything, right? And that a shallow was more for breads. But I found that, like, I didn't get the fish up high enough to get the color that I wanted, even though it was cooked all the way. I didn't get the color,
right,
the browning that I wanted.
It wasn't there to do the browning
because I didn't have enough heat on top to force down. Because heating down takes more energy than heating up. So I reckon if I would have flipped it over and done it like a pizza, I would have been okay. I would have got the colors I was looking for, maybe.
What do you mean flipped it up?
The Dutch oven over. Probably not, because I still would have had a lot of heat coming down. So anyway.
And we might have the same issue with this because it's so deep.
Yeah.
You're not getting the browning on the top of the cake mix like you're wanting.
That's why I'm loading her up a little heavy.
Right. It'll turn on.
But I did notice that, so then I was like, okay, well, how do I score a shallow 12 without my wife knowing?
I can bring one down.
Well, there is that. But it was just one of those, as you're getting into it, you kind of notice some different things. And dare I say, learn a thing or two? All right. I probably need more pulls. Here. Huh? Yeah, here comes that drown us out. Shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when I was even like Logan County, Ohio, it's like, yeah, same county. And then people said something like that, soggy ground fell down.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then he said, I see if you know it, where you're at.
Yeah, I know, right? I cut it really low this last time, and then we got a lot of heat, and it burned the grass, so it hasn't grown back. I don't know if that's gonna should catch, but I'm impatient. So, but yeah, that's what happened. Is the backyard. I cut it too short, like a week and a half ago, and then 2 weeks ago, and then we got all that bunch of heat,
Yeah.
and it burned the grass. So now it looks like this, all patchy, and plus the dogs are out here running, and might be a redneck if you carry a pocket knife and a cigarette lighter in your pajama pockets. Oh, okay. I have to remember my gloves because I picked this up earlier and it was smoking hot. Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah, there's the huh?
that thing, keep your head off this side.
We'll turn. You can turn away. You can set up over there. We're the ones that got to deal with the. Yeah. Slight modification here. The worst. Anyway. So, yeah, I should have brought my sunglasses, but it's all right. So you did street corn.
Yeah, and then I had everything to do fajitas, but Teresa decided she didn't want fajitas. She wanted just buffalo wings. And so she sent me to the store. I got all the last of the stuff I needed for fajitas. And then I got the 2 packs of wings, and I come back. And I said, well, look, I'm not going to be cooking 2 packs of wings and fajitas. I said, you pick one, fajitas or wings. And so the kids, everybody else wanted fajitas, but Teresa wanted wings. And I said, well, what Mama wants, Mama gets. And I said, but I'm not making both, so everybody's getting wings. So I made wings last night, and the street corn I got because that was to go with the fajitas. And they still wanted me to make the corn anyway, even though we were having chicken wings. So I made the corn, and there's a whole bunch left they can have with the fajitas tonight.
Oh, Rust Dog, we don't do leftovers, man. Yeah. Rust Dog, we don't do leftovers, man. Yeah, I had hot dogs last night for dinner. I got home. Cub sends me a message. Like, I get off the water, off the lake, and I was like, okay, I got to stop and get stuff for this morning. And I get this message that says, you get cookies. Okay. So I stop and get some, I was already stopping, so got her some cookies. Mama had got the thing out and was shampooing the carpets, which
Mom called me.
Which I conveniently screwed up this morning trying to bring everything in and out.
Because Mom calls me, she's like, have you vacuumed yet? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, I'm going to go get the shampooer for the carpets. If you could go ahead and vacuum and all that. And I was like, okay. Was not expecting it to be done like that, though. And
I did get a message that a friend of ours, a couple, they were doing, that we do 5Ks with. They did a 5K yesterday and got the personal best time.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's like, heck yeah, man, that's awesome. The time that she sent me, her mile time was the same as what mine is. So she's come a long way. So that's fantastic. We're supposed to be doing one 14th of next month. So, but,
I had a little thing I was planning for Teresa yesterday. Something that she's wanted to do for several years, but every time we get around to buying the tickets for it, they're always sold out. And that's up in Spencer, North Carolina, just an hour and a half drive or so. And the North Carolina Train Museum is there. And every year they have this Polar Express train ride.
Okay, yeah.
And you get to ride through the mountains, and they have, the hot chocolate and all that stuff. And then at the end of it, Santa Claus gives out the first present of gift of Christmas. And everybody who buys their ticket, they get the veil, just like they did in the cartoon. And so we've been wanting to do that for a while, but money's always been an issue. And the tickets, buying them now early, we got them for $55. And so I got us 2 tickets. Wait a second. I got us 2 tickets to go to the train ride. And she was all happy and excited about it. And then she started to tell Tamara, we're going to do this. And then Tamara said, I want to go. And so she went up and she bought tickets for her and Sean. And then Tommy heard them talking about it. And so, hey, that'd be nice. And he wants to go with Peyton. So we got tickets for him and Peyton. So now what this was going to be a nice little weekend Christmas trip for me and Teresa, the whole family's going now.
$600 later.
Peyton's roommate, Peyton and Casey are all doing the Polar Express thing for work.
Oh, that's nice.
So you might run into Peyton and them on the train.
He wouldn't know who they are.
He would know who your daughter is.
I he wouldn't know the roommate.
No, but I'm saying, like, you know the roommate.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going.
No,
Why not? Go ahead and get tickets for you and Tanya. We'll have a big old family thing.
Yeah.
And while they're making hot chocolate on the train, we could fire up a Dutch oven.
Yeah.
That's something else that we did in Scouts at winter camping. We made hot chocolate in the Dutch oven.
Oh.
James just asked Rusty, was your school mascot a Chinese
No, my school mascot was a bear cat. I'm actually wearing my
That's why he's asking.
Rock Hill Bearcats. This is my reunion shirt from a couple months ago.
Dad, have you ever been to one of your reunions?
I went to the 5-year.
Not the 40-year?
40 years.
Dang, I'm not that old.
92.
Yeah. No, I went to the 5-year and I hadn't been back since.
Riding a horse and buggy to your prom.
Yeah. Well, it was one of those yesterday. So one of the guys that was with us,
Scotty's in.
Hey, Scotty.
What's up, Scotty? He was talking about some of these people that he knew. Well, it turned out another guy knew the same people, but they had never crossed. And so it was interesting listening to these two guys talk. And he's like, they went to the Rock Hill or whatever, and they were like, okay, well, what year did you graduate? And he's like, the judge was like, well, I graduated in 79. And I was like, holy crap. I was a year and a half or 2 years old when you graduated high school. Holy crap. And he's out there, he's running, every morning 3, 4 miles, 5 miles. It's like, dang, dude. It was just one of those, like you hear their age and you're like, yeah, okay, he's in his 60s, whatever. Doesn't mean anything. But when he says, I graduated high school in 79, and I'm going, I was born in 77. Holy crap. It just kind of helped. I said something to the wife about it, and she goes, and? I was like, it just puts things into a different perspective. Where,
oh, yeah, it does.
And she was like, okay, I get that. But I was the youngest one out there. The guy closest was 51. So out of 6 of us, I was the youngest. That's all right.
79. I was 9 years old.
Yeah, just thinking about it it just kind of goes, what? But, yeah. So, Cub, what you got going on? Classes? How's classes? That's right, because they screwed up her. They didn't get all her information ahead in time to get her.
No. They did. They just didn't. They lost the one paper because they had my transcript and they had all that, but they didn't put that they got my application from the third in yet.
Oh.
So then I had to pay another $35 to submit a new application with the same information as the first two, just for them to still not be able to put it in the paperwork right.
Okay. So anyway, Faye's doing all right. She's got her classes going. Cameron should be about done, isn't she? She's in her last semester.
She graduates in February. So she's almost there.
Cool.
Have her master's.
Nice. And Mandy, I saw Kyla's ready to get started. Happy late birthday to her.
It's about time for your turn on the Dutch oven.
Yep. I was thinking my coals just changed color. Or my heat changed color.
Remember when you turn the Dutch oven hot, you turn the lid the opposite way. Sure, I don't got to remind you.
Here we go. And it is, one thing I did pick up from Kent Rollins was when you spin your Dutch oven, keep your ears so that way you know which way you're spinning them. So don't have them like 3 and 9 or whatever. You have them 12 and 6. Then when you spin it, then you go 3 and 9. Right? So then you just keep moving it from here to here. Then, so you're making the quarter turns. And then the lid, you got your handle. So the next time I spin it, it'll go this way and it'll be straight up and down. Yeah. Just a couple of things I picked up from camera.
A month and a day.
A month and a day. Yeah. Some of these are ready to. That's one thing I did notice about Kingsford is they do burn fast. For the old Dutch oven, I think. Some more heat. These things burned up quick. Yeah. So I did see that. I mean, for anybody who doesn't really care, ouch. I got the glove on this hand. Yeti, when they came out with their cast iron skillet from Butter Pack, Yeti ended up buying Butter Pack. Oh, what do you do? Okay. But they were not going to re-release their skillets. Evidently, they've just re-released their own brand of skillets now.
Yeah, they're proud of them skillets too.
They are. I mean, that Yeti name is a $400 price tag. That's for sure. Should be okay. Thank you. Right there. Trying to throw some heat down here. Yeah. Look good. Good enough. Guess we'll find out in a little bit. Other news, I did see that, talk a little sports, a little college football, because it just started yesterday. Florida State got beat by Georgia Tech. You're saying, man,
yeah, big deal.
It's a big deal. Florida State's ranked really high, and Georgia Tech's not ranked. And typically, Georgia Tech is not a strong football team. They're kind of 500 or less, so they're kind of, so. Florida State, though, is usually pretty good. And so that was kind of a big upset for week one.
Florida State, is that the Indian head?
The Seminoles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did see that. That was kind of a big upset. I didn't really pay attention to
the other Florida school is the Gatorade school, right?
Gators.
Yeah, then they make Gatorade. That's why we have Gatorade.
Yes.
Florida Gators. They made that for their football players.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. They were the ones that perfected the studies may end up making Gatorade. Yes. Tim Tebow, yeah. So I
know Tim Tebow because he was a quarterback who got all kinds of flack for kneeling and praying before the games or something like that.
For what he was outspoken about his faith, and two, he would wear put John 3:16 or a Bible verse under his eyes. On the little patch that they put on.
Right.
He would wear Proverbs, whatever.
I don't remember what team he played for, but I remember him.
Yeah, they kind of gave him the shaft because he was outspoken about his faith, and The NFL can't support everything. Anyway, I've got my problems with the NFL, but football season's coming up.
Panthers won.
Did they?
31-26.
Woo! Preseason game.
Yeah.
Yep. So
I think it was 31-26. Well, they won.
okay.
Fine.
I hadn't watched any of it. I hadn't even looked it up.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I just happened to see the scores on my phone.
Yeah. Yeah, I hadn't watched any of it. I hadn't turned it on. But
And our game is coming up.
yep. We're going to. Your brother got tickets.
And he's got season tickets, and his wife and my wife are going to be in Tennessee that weekend. So that's a free ticket from her. And then their daughter, my niece, because it was the Cincinnati Bengals game.
Yep.
And I told her, I said, well, look, my best friend loves that team. I said, and you don't really care about football. Let me have your ticket too, so we can have mommy's ticket and your ticket, and then I can take him. And she said, okay. She said, $40.
Said you wanted to rack ribs, right? That's
So-
$40.
So I got his tickets to go see the Bengals.
Looking forward to that. Yep, that's coming up. And Mama will be. She's going to Callaway that weekend and spend the weekend with Pay. So works out. But
Did you find anything sticking out yet for an Edison?
not that she hasn't said anything. We hadn't really had a chance to talk much this week. So we've been kind of busy, and then. But you said waiting on Boston Butts go on sale.
Yeah.
I gotta get a few for our cook. Coming up, we're doing a cook with the F3 guys. They do an outreach once a month, and we're cooking for the men's shelter. So what they do is they raise money through the different events that they put on.
It's not gonna rain, baby.
So they'll do like say a 5K sponsored by F3, and everybody pays your money. You get your T-shirt, and then whatever profits goes into this mission. Okay. But so anyway, they raise money, and then they do the outreach, and at Christmas time they give a donation to different places. So it'd be a chance to give back, and it's I told them if they needed somebody to cook some barbecue or smoke some chicken or something, let me know. And they said, well, why don't you get on cue and lead one? And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So I went last month, a couple weeks ago, kind of get an idea of what it's about and what goes on, and it was quite humbling. Some of these people work full-time jobs and they just don't have a place to stay. Some of the people, they look like they were in high school and just don't have a place to stay. I mean, it kind of put everything in, kind of makes you go, I'm one decision away from being in that situation.
Exactly.
And so anyway, I'm doing the barbecue for the next one coming up. So that'll be fun. We're doing it, planning on about 70 people. So we're looking about cooking 40 pounds, maybe 50 pounds. If there's anything left over, then whatever. But a couple sides and dessert, which somebody had already picked up on that. So, but some of these guys, this is the only meal they get the whole day. Like they don't eat again until that next night. So So that cook's coming up. I got to get some Boston butts whenever they go on sale again, because at $2.29 a pound, that gets a little bit much.
It does.
So Labor Day's coming up, so hopefully I can snag some.
Yeah, I'm down to my last 2 now. And at one time, I had, 20 of them in my freezer. But I've gone through so many.
Yeah.
And I got to get those pulled out so I can get them cooked for my niece's birthday party this weekend.
Yep. So that'll be coming up. I kind of put it up as we'll do a little something with the channel. Kind of video the cook and pulling it, and then I'll take some like snapshots, because I can't really do a video. Hey man, that's something right in my eyes. I can't do like a video of the people there.
Right.
So I'll be able to take like some snapshots, kind of behind the scenes stuff, and then I'll add that to like a video. And one of the guys was like, I was telling him what I was thinking. He's like, dude, that's awesome. He goes, and then we'll put up on our social media thing, link it to your thing. And I was like, okay, that's not why I'm not doing it for subscribers, but just a chance for us to give back a little bit and be, I don't know, but so we're looking at that. That's coming up September 10th. So I got to get some butts and get to cooking. So, and they said there's a couple of them that won't eat pork for religious reasons, so they'll want chicken. And I was like, okay, whatever. I can do a couple chickens. So that was actually when I was thinking about doing the rotisserie.
Okay.
So I could do 2 chickens on that rotisserie and give that a whirl. So
we'll make pulled chicken out of that.
Yeah. And we'll have it on the side, so the people that want chicken can have it. The other ones that everybody else can pork. So, but then I kind of thought, man, we could do like get the big Dutch oven out there and do a big jambalaya, but they don't want to. They'd rather have just cookies and Mountain Dew.
It's not a twisted again.
All right. So, Cub, what are you doing?
Hello.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Anybody there?
So Dickie said kill a bird on the loose.
Oh, you hear it?
And then James said this might be the strangest video I've ever watched.
Is it really?
He said LOL.
It's just 2 guys cooking in a Dutch oven talking, I reckon. Actually, I want to look at it. I want to lose a lot of heat, and I know that.
And remember, if you're looking, you ain't cooking.
That's true. Oh, we got a long way to go. We got a long way to go.
And a short time to get there.
Yep. But it's like, because it's only halfway, it's going to take a lot of heat to get down there. So probably not the best idea for today, but hey.
I could have brought a shallow 12 down if I'd have known. But I didn't even know what you were cooking today until last night. Teresa was at the kitchen table and she asked me, she said, what are you and Lee doing tomorrow? I said, I don't know. And then Tamara said, a dump cake. I said, what? Has Lee already put it up on Facebook? She said, no. I just talked to Nolan. She told me.
Yeah. Yep. So, James, what do you got going on, buddy? Since we're boring. I know Scotty's got some pretty cool cooks coming up. Whoa. It's a little toasty. I'm loading her up.
I see that. But you got a lot of space to get to the top of the bread.
Yeah. So I might have screwed that up, but
No, it ain't screwed up. This might take a little longer, that's all.
yeah. So maybe it'll get done before the hour's up. I doubt it. So.
Oh, I told Teresa what we were talking about Wednesday about me bringing in my other Dutch oven table and putting them back to back, and you and I being on either side,
Yeah.
doing a challenge or something like that. And she said that sounds like a really good idea. She said, I think a lot of people like watching that. So
What do y'all think about that? Y'all type in the comments. Go.
Looking at them.
Okay. Y'all let me know what you think about dueling Dutch oven cooks.
Yeah, I was gonna bring my other Dutch oven table like this and put them back to back, and Lee on one side and me on the other. We come up with an idea like he said, a jambalaya dish. We're gonna make a one-pot jambalaya, and we come by. I'll bring my ingredients. He'll have his. Have no idea what each other is going to do, and we have our own version, and just do a little competition.
James said, I don't think you're boring. I'm dehydrating oats from the garden and making coffee.
Oh. Okay. Well, I'm glad we're not boring. Which I just sent my dehydrator up to pay. One of her friends, Lady A, we'll call her. She likes it when I call her that. She is an old country gal, and said that her dad won't let her touch the dehydrator. Like they make jerkies and stuff, and all kinds of fruit, and so she was like, I'm not allowed to touch their Dutch oven or their dehydrator. So I said, I got one. I'll let you use it, because I think we've used it twice in the 4 years I've had it. So I set it up to Lady A. She's going to use it.
Yeah. And if she decides she likes it and she wants one, I've got a brand new one still in the box, and I'll give it to her, because I've got my great big Excalibur 10 tray that I use whenever I'm doing jerky or whatever. And this other one I have, it's a small, it's a little small one.
Yeah.
And that'd be great for dorm size or small apartment size.
Yeah. Yeah, the one I sent up was about this big around. But
I've got an extra one that I'll give her.
Yeah. I doubt I get that one back, so it's fine. I'm not expecting it back. I don't care. So, she can have it. But I hadn't really got into dehydrating. The one time it looked cool as all get out, but I just never got into it. Had all the dehydrating dreams of grandeur and all that. Never did anything with it. Okay. So, Tom, what's going on, buddy? I guess probably the AC wasn't a good idea to set up. Should have sat up more over where I wanted to, but anyway, maybe next week. So
we can always kick the breaker to turn your unit off until we're done.
Yeah, but then I forget to turn it back on. So what do y'all think about the dueling Dutch oven idea? It would take a lot longer to cook, unless we do like the like a smaller one pot type deal.
Yeah, you said you had a 1/4 pot. I'm gonna buy one. We can do a 1/4 pot meal.
So there's several years ago I was listening to Malcolm Reed talk, and they got talking about in Louisiana it's a big thing where you do 1/4 pot jambalayas. It's a competition, and the idea is you have a 1-quart cast iron jambalaya pot, and you have a stand, and you cook. Everything has to cook and fit in that pot. So your sausage, you're cutting up into chunks or medallions, and you're cooking that. Then you're pulling that out, you're putting in your chicken or your shrimp. You're pulling that out. Then you're doing your Trinity. You're sauteing that, then you pull that out. And then you put everything back in, and all the flavoring comes from, I mean, you can add like your dry seasoning, but all your other flavoring comes from the fawn at the bottom of the pot. So then you put in your rice, and it's like 1 cup of rice to 2 cups of water. And when you're done, everything has to stay in that pot, and then you serve it. You put a little bit out, serve it. But it was kind of neat looking into it. There's videos on YouTube, but they're hard to find. It's Mini Pot Challenge. I tried doing it with the girls, and I couldn't find the cast iron pots at first, so I got 1-quart sauce pots, and we did that, and that was good. That was fun. But we just did the one or two challenges with it. And then I got the twins, the 2-quart pot, Vicky and Veronica. We got the 2-quart pots, and we did a few challenges with those, but they weren't on live fire. They or coals. They were in the oven. So.
Pickle said dueling Dutch sound good. Tom said dueling Dutch oven swords. Pistol.
Dueling swords and pistols.
Happy to meet you. Said it's a beautiful day. A beautiful day to be alive.
It absolutely is. Absolutely is.
That Wednesday night, whenever I got home, Teresa looked at the clock and said, "You know what time it is?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "It's past your bedtime." I said, "I know." I said, "It's a little late." She said, "You don't ever stay at his house that late on a Wednesday night. What happened?" I said, "It was a beautiful day. We were sitting down in the backyard just talking, enjoying the weather." I said, "And time just got away from us." I said, then he looked up and said, "You know, it's kind of dark. So I'm not going to be heading home."
Yeah.
And so I came on home.
Yeah.
But yeah, this weather change, man, it's just been amazing.
So yeah, I'm thinking we can. I bought a second chimney starter. So some of these really cool 1-quart pot stands. There's no. I guess there is one place to buy it, but I can't remember the website. And you can't just find a 1-quart Dutch oven. You have to order them offline. But the one I got at the lodge when they were at the Charlotte location, which isn't there now, which kind of stinks. But we could do the 2-quart, be just fine. The one just sounds better. But
It's time to twist it again.
the
Slow.
good. So we can use the 2 quarts or whatever. So
I can't wait for Monday. I'm having Oklahoma Joe Bronco be delivered.
is that Scotty?
Tom.
Got
him a Bronco?
What? Nice. An Okie Joe Bronco, man, you're gonna love that thing.
Once you check the bread, check the top of it. All that extra coals you put on there.
It's brown enough, but it's not.
Okay.
Where the butter was looks good, but The rest of it's not. The rest of it still looks powdery. Still looks a little powdery. But where the butter was looks really good. Might have to get some more butter. More butter, baby. But so I was looking at, thinking the jambalaya stuff. That'd be kind of fun. Just to do, tiny one pot things and go with that. Because I don't know how a non-stick, because the little sauce pots I got are, one's a Rachel Ray and one's something I got at TJ Maxx. And I don't know how they would do over coals. Over gas, I mean, the gas grills, what we used them on, they were fine. I don't know how they would react over coals. But, I don't know. It's just something I'm kicking around. Wanted to revive that, kind of see what happens. Because that'd be a fun Dutch oven learning experience.
It would.
And then we don't have to, groceries will be a lot smaller. I had some peppers left over from a week ago. So I bought more peppers and onions and celery so I could make the Trinity in little packs and freeze them. So that way that we've already got them for the 1 quart or 2 quart challenge. So that way that's done, and then you can, go ahead and dice up the sausages and have that as like ready to go, and then shrimp and chicken. And I don't know. Something to kind of kick around. Try to do some more, I don't know, something different.
And I'm really looking forward to this cooler weather because it's time for soups and stews. Those are going to be really good in the Dutch oven.
Yeah. Soups and stews, which I was looking at a chili the other day, and I was like, "Oh, it's not," or beef stew, and I was like, "Man, it's not that weather yet."
No.
Ham soup.
Tommy's girlfriend, she she's seen a lot of cooking since she's been dating Tommy and been at my house. And
No, from him.
no, from me. And she asked if I ever made chicken and dumplings. Very, very often, because she actually wanted me to make chicken and dumplings. And I'm like, well, that's something we make a lot, but we make it in cooler weather. We don't make it in August.
Right. Yeah. Yep. So, and it's kind of nice that we're doing like the challenges that with the keto show. So then we kind of have an idea, and we can. So that's been kind of spurring the Sundays, is kind of like thinking a little bit outside the box with it. We've been doing this Sunday live for what, a couple years now, ain't we, Cub?
Yeah.
And
How'd Tanya like the flounder rolls?
Nope.
Cub didn't like them. I don't know if she ate them.
I think she tried.
I thought they were really good. Mike's stuffed salmon looked amazing.
It did.
Yep. So let's see, what else is there? So yeah, with the 1 quart pot, it'll fit resting on the handles right inside of a chimney starter. So then the idea that I was having was, if I cut out a hole in the bottom part where there's already holes, if I cut it so it's like a window, door, we could feed wood splits in there, and you could cook over live wood, live fire. So I think that might be something to play around with.
So the pot will fit into the hole, and the handles
Are
rest on the outside, and that's what supports it?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can only have a very low amount of holes in wood, then you can't.
right. It would be
okay.
so on the chimney starter itself. You know where that rack is in the bottom?
Right.
It would have to be below that. That would be where your fire's at, and you just slide in little wood splits to 6-inch pieces or whatever, 4-inch pieces. Slide in little chunks just to keep your fire going. So, and then your heat's coming up and you're cooking in that. Because online there's a guy who sells almost the same thing, but it's got a burner in it. And $80, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that this thing's gonna take off like that. You know what I mean? We're low budget right here. So it already costs a lot to burn shit. Stuff, burn stuff. Well, we haven't really burned anything. Biscuits at one time.
The wooden cabinet.
Yes, we burnt the wood on the workspace. Yeah, that's why I started doing the cooks outside. But the other thing that they had, which I'm gonna have to get with a welder or something, somebody that can weld up. They had rebar that it made a circle around where the Dutch oven goes, and then the handles, so it fits snug, right? So the handle slid right on top of it, and then it had legs about like that, under 3 legs, so you could hold it up, and then you had your fire underneath, and you could move your poles around,
right?
And that's what a lot of them use, something like that, but. I think the chimney starter would work. And a 2-quart Dutch oven will fit right on top of the chimney starter. Like it sits right on top. So
I think that'd be more feasible than a 1-quart pot. Especially if you're doing it just to cook, no big deal. But if you're doing it to eat, a little 1-quart pot ain't gonna do nothing.
You'd be surprised. I mean, that's a good serving. 2 servings.
Not for me. I just think the 2-quart pot would be better.
I think he's just scared to cook in a 1-quart pot because he's never cooked anything that small. You don't even heat sauces up in anything smaller than a 4-quart Dutch oven.
Yeah, an hour and 4.
Oh, we're over? Oh, crap. Well, I don't know. I reckon I can show you what that looks like, and then we can get out of here. Because I don't think we're ready yet. I hope not, because I just got my coals are just getting going. So...
He said keep rolling.
Oh, who said?
James.
James says keep rolling, huh? Well, guys, that's what we look like.
They can't see it.
Is it all whited out?
Yeah.
I'm not even getting bubbling off the bottom, so I definitely need more heat. See, it's starting to brown up a little bit here, like crust up. But we're nowhere near. So definitely need more heat on the bottom. That's where I'm finding the So the big Dutch oven is like the deeps is more for your soups and stews, stuff like that. Where your shallows is where you're going to do a lot of your baking. Something like this would have been great in a shallow. And I'm learning, so I thought when I bought this one that this is what I would use more of, that I could substitute and be able to do everything, but just add more heat to the top. But it's obviously not working out that way.
Do you think that table would hold a large sportsman?
Yes.
It definitely would.
Yes, and that is another thing that I need to get out and start using more of.
And this is a whole lot better, having it raised up for us to work on, and then having to get down and scoop it while it's on the ground.
Yeah. Yep, I do have the Sportsman's Grill, and I need to get it out. I need to just leave this table set up outside all the time, and that way it's easier just to less setup time that it takes to drag it from the I ain't gonna get into all that, but it's.
And I say my other one that I got at home, it's set up all the time on my back deck. Now I take the wind guards off, and the wind guard I lay on top of it. That way the wind hopefully doesn't hit it and blow it down and knock it down.
Yeah.
But the footprint is wide enough that we don't have wind usually that strong.
Well, I don't know. It's kind of talked Dutch oven. We've talked. What other tools would you recommend? I mean, seeing how you've done this with the Boy Scouts, what other tools would you recommend for a Dutch oven? Somebody's getting into it. They just bought one. They didn't know what to get. So we'll get into the size difference later. But if they're saying, okay, I'm getting a Dutch oven, or I just got one. What are the tools that I would need?
Really, depending upon if your Dutch oven has legs or not, you will need a trivet to get it up elevated. Even something simple like this.
That's a Lodge 4-way.
Yeah. Even something simple like this, because you got to be able to get the coals under it and around the edge. If it has legs on it like this, that's not needed. A lid lifter, very important, because you ain't going to be reaching down there and picking it up with your hands.
Right.
Even with the heavy duty gloves on, you got no dexterity in your fingers. It's really easy to let it slip out of your fingers and drop it. Lid lifter, very important. Like you're using an aluminum insert to cook in. That is excellent. It just makes cleanup so much easier. But if you don't have that and you're cooking inside the vessel itself, a good chainmail to clean the inside, especially doing cakes or something with a lot of sugar in it, to get that broken down. But tongs to place your coals, chimney starter is, I think, another piece of very important equipment. And believe it or not, the Dutch oven table, though it's not needed because you can easily cook this on the ground, it just elevates it to where it's so much easier to work on and maneuver around. It just makes the whole experience so much better.
Yep. And you don't have to have the table. You could use a charcoal grill.
You could.
A gas grill, and put a sheet pan, like a cookie sheet. I've done that, where I put a cookie sheet on top of the gas grill, and that way it would hold my coals. I actually saw a guy, and I thought it was ingenious. He took a walker, like grandma's walker, and put one of the big cookie sheets, like the commercial grade ones, big ones, right? Set that on top and screwed it down, and that was his Dutch oven table. So that way, when he could lift it up and fold it down and carry it easier, like transport.
Okay.
Jake said I have a separate hook in the yard to hang pencils.
Nice, nice. I absolutely love seeing those where they have the two hooks or the two poles that go in the ground, and then the things hanging,
Right.
and the ground is all like channeled out for the fire. I love seeing that stuff. I just enjoy that. I'm in awe. Okay, so charcoal tongs, a lid lifter, trivets,
Chimney.
Okay. And one important thing, that your spent ash bucket. I found that I like having a spent ash bucket for, when you're done cooking, you got to have somewhere to put that.
Right.
And you can put it in there, put the lid on it, it seals. You pick those up at Lowe's. I think it was like $15, $20. I use it for my charcoal grills too. So whenever I take the ashes out of the grill when I clean it, I put them in there, and then when it's full, dump it in a trash bag and throw it away.
And the Scouts, we didn't do that. We the boy took a shovel, went to the tree line, and we dug a hole, and all of our spent ash and stuff was poured into the hole and then covered back up.
Yeah. Well, obviously they haven't set the tree line on fire yet, because when the ask me how I know. That was before all these trees grew up. Caught the tree line on fire one time from an ember. Okay, so then
I had to call the fire department, didn't you?
they called. Like somebody else called the fire department. Yeah,
I remember that.
I had it put out by the time they got there. Yeah, that was. Maybe we did. I don't know. But yeah, the fire department came them one time. So then size of Dutch oven. Like we talked about, the shallow versus the deep. The deeps are going to be for your stews, stuff like that, soups, roasts, like something big, like a big hunk of meat, with a trivet underneath it on the inside. Your shallows are going to be more for baking, like those fish fillets. Would have been fantastic in that. Biscuits would work better in a shallow.
We did a lot of pizzas in the shallows in the Boy Scout.
Yeah. Pizzas would be fantastic.
Mom said I take my spent ash and throw it in the neighbor's yard.
If it's put out, that's fine. I tend to leave it in the bucket. When the bucket's full, I actually dumped it over in the tree line, but it's been like 4 days or a week in the bucket, sealed up nice and tight. But then you get into the size of Dutch oven, where 12 is going to be 6 people, 6 to 8. And that, any 9x13 recipe like casserole, 6-quart crock pot will fit in a deep 12. And then you kind of step it down from there. Like a 10 deep would feed 4, 6? Yeah. And then size 8, which is a 2-quart, that'll feed 4 people, 4 servings, 2 Rusties.
Yeah.
But we're doing a lot more stuff now where it's just me and Mama. So doing smaller cooks would be more beneficial. But I don't think 2 quarts come in a shallow and a deep. I think they're just one size, which is fine. They do come in camp, which is the camp ovens have the legs, and the other ones I call Lieutenant Dan ain't got no legs. The regular stovetop.
Right.
But you can use the stovetop ones with no legs, with poles, just on a trivet. one of the Lodge 4-ways. I don't know. What else you got?
Whenever you start, you got to learn your heat displacement. And just realize you have 80% of your coals are on the top, while 20% are on the bottom, because heat rises, and that's why you can't have that much coals on the bottom, and it's so close to the bottom of the actual food that you're cooking. And you got to have so many more coals on the top because it takes heat so much longer to travel down towards the top of whatever it is you're cooking.
Yeah.
And so you've got an 80-20 split. And in the scouts, we actually taught the boys the heat coefficient of each individual charcoal briquette, how each briquette puts off 15 to 20 degrees of heat. So if you need to make your Dutch oven, 400 degrees, that's how you would determine how many coals you need. Then you do your 80-20 split from there, and it tells you how many coals go on top and go on bottom. There's just a whole bunch of math involved, and and that was the way that we taught the boys in the Boy Scouts. But you watch people like Kent Rollins and people that have been doing it for so long, they don't actually have to follow that individual formula.
It's starting to brown up. I need to get some more heat on the bottom. I think the top's just fine. So yeah, so this lid lifter in particular, I got at Lodge, and it's got the hooks. So this goes down underneath the handle on the lid. You pull this up, and that's what locks it in. These are the supports legs, so you get a good grip. So like if you have to tip it over and dump it out, you can. If you're going to move it down to the trivet, it's nice and secure. It's got a little hook, so you can pick it up and spin it. It's getting heavy.
And that particular lid lifter there is one of my favorite ones. Show them the other one.
Yep, I will.
And I mean, you got so much more stability and handling power and capability with that lid lifter.
This one here, it's kind of the same. It's got a little hook, so you get up underneath the lid, the handle on the lid, and then this is your weight distribution, your support. So there's not much there, so you couldn't pick it up and shake it like that, but it's good to just turn and rotate. So, and then these are the tripods, and they're, or not tripods, the trivets, and they're just it's a Lodge 4-way, and you set it down. You can flip the lid over on the Dutch oven and set it on here and put your coals around it and cook like a skillet. You can put a skillet on it. You can flip it over and use it as like I am, the place for the lid. It's got the hooks, so you can technically use it as a lid lifter. So it's like, that's why it's a 4-in-1. Those are nice. They're like $12-15. So those are all nice to have. Ooh, that was radiating some heat. My gloves good. Oh, so
what's our time, Nolan?
She said
19.
we're way over. So it's hot. So now, I just got a pair of long, not real long, but these are indoor tongs. But I like them a lot better because I get more control than the actual charcoal ones or barbecue ones they sell. So we're just going to move this. Ooh. You saw a pop right there? That's because the heat I just moved over on this thin table. That's fine.
My really good Dutch oven table, I actually left at the Scouts whenever my son got his Eagle and we aged out and pretty much got out of Scouts. I left it with the Scout troop. So I had to go buy them again, and I bought 2 of these, and these were a whole lot cheaper than my original one. These were only $100, but the metal is so thin, it's strong enough to support the weight of the Dutch oven, but the expansion and contraction from the heat, it flips and it pops. It does the same thing, you know, on my other one I got at home, but the one that I have that's at the Scout Troop is a lot thicker, a lot heavier.
So now I put a lot of heat on the bottom and I'm not adding much to the top because I want to get that bubbling effect and I want to start cooking more from the bottom. But the other thing that is nice to have that I don't have is a whisk broom, a small one, for like this instance here where I need to, all that spent ash is an insulator. So it's actually preventing heat going down because it's got to go through all that spent ash. So at this point, it would probably be more beneficial to flip it over, shake it all off, and then reapply coals. Should I do that? Yes. Will I? I don't know.
Or you get a shop vac and come out and just blow it all out into the air.
And then the fire department comes because you caught the whole neighborhood on fire.
When we go to jail for arson.
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, at 121.
Well, do we need to call it, Cub?
Yes.
So,
all right. Well, we're not going to be done in time. So, lesson learned. This is a dump cake is good for a video and not a live. Unless we want to go.
Unless we have a shallow Dutch oven.
Yep. Unless I get the right thing. Lesson learned.
Because in all actuality, this whole thing should take roughly 45 minutes.
If done correctly, which I didn't. So. Oh, well. It happens. But if I use the 2-quart.
Said #ripoff.
Y'all get your money's worth today.
Well, I don't know how to reply to that, Tom. Thank you. Well, I hope you struggle with your Oklahoma Joe Bronco.
Now, if you were signed up on our Patreon account, we'd give you a refund.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you got your money's worth. Free. Let's see. Can we talk more about Dutch ovens? What else is there to talk about? Cub is like nothing. She's done.
We're still anticipating the rain.
No, mine makes me pale and I'm not getting gross.
Well, I guess
I said, I got what I paid for.
Exactly. Yeah.
We didn't shortchange you.
Well, there was no change for sure.
Exactly. He didn't pay anything, so.
Anyway.
Yeah. It's a good thing you're not subscribed to my OnlyFans. Whoa!
Whoa.
So, well, with Labor Day coming up, that's next weekend, right? You got any cooks coming up for Labor Day?
Only thing I got coming up next weekend is my niece's barbecue. I got to do for her birthday party. I
Okay.
didn't realize next weekend was Labor Day. The school's band barbecue, we're not having that until October. I I forgot. I got it in my phone. But normally we do it on the Labor Day weekend, but it got put off a couple weeks this year. But I've got all the meat ordered and it's going to be ready. I've got the barbecue already reserved. I mean the smoker. I'm going to be using that Southern Pride again.
Okay. Well, I reckon that's all we got, bud.
Yeah, we don't want to waste any more of your time.
Yeah, I know Tom's a busy man and he likes showing support by watching. Kind of bummer. I thought this would be done faster. Kind of glad it's not because it's kind of nice just sitting out here. I got to get out of the sun though.
See? Umbrella.
So I should have. Now I know I need to set up over there. We're learning.
We could have put the can in there too.
How much time do you think I had to start everything up?
You do have a big umbrella.
Again. Anyway, that's an argument for another day. So, well, let's get out of here, Cubbo.
Okay.
All right. Well, remember those 2 rules in cooking. Did you have fun? Did it taste good? We don't know yet, but I'm sure it's going to be okay.
Have
Y'all
a great week, guys.
Have a great week. Get out and do something different. If it takes you longer, drink more coffee.